Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, please reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you want to be a lurker and not say anything, that's also totally okay. We got John here. We got Ghost Valve here. Welcome, friends. It might be a chill Saturday night. There's a lot going on. There's college basketball. There's WrestleMania. I watched the first two matches in WrestleMania. That's right. In an hour, they got through two matches and the intro of a third match. Aristophan is here. Lashbrick is here. We got a great crew already. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I watched so much goddamn wrestling since Thursday. I popped the 7-day free trial for Fight, and then also spent $20 to watch a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling match or card, which is not available on Wrestle Universe for my monthly subscription to that. It's fine because it's worth it. Yeah, I just watched so much good wrestling. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. I watched so much good wrestling, and we'll talk about a bunch of that. I watched a show today, 2.5-hour show today, and stuff on Thursday and stuff on Friday. Some real good stuff that we will, of course, chat about. And we're also going to work on this model kit. I got the Rick Diaz right here. Quattro's Rick Diaz. It's a kit from 2020 based on an old model kit. From I believe 2000. Yeah, some of these. So the original Rick Diaz that this is based on is a 2000s kit, and then later they put in new parts to make it this the kit that I'm working on now. In 2019, they've added some new parts to make it the Rick Quattro's version. So it's an update. Came out as premium Bandai kit. I picked it up because it's a great red color. And I've never built a Rick Diaz on stream before. I've built a Dom before, but never a Rick Diaz. So let's fucking get into it. We started it last stream, but we'll keep going on that. I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight. Because the more the merrier, of course. Also, in the second hour of tonight's stream, do want to point out I will be talking about an anime that wrapped up and a new one that started because it's time to talk about new anime this month. I only watched one new show. I didn't want to watch Hell's Paradise because that didn't look interesting to me, and I think there's at least one other thing that came out today. But the new season has started, and I picked a romantic comedy to be the first one. A romantic comedy about gamers. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's go to the overhead. Hey, we're overhead. There we are. There we go. So this is the Rick. There's the Rick right there. Rick Diaz. Its backpack makes it on a weird angle. I got some parts here. We're working on the arms. We did the head and the chest. Oh, I should also mention, no stickers on this kit. No color correcting stickers. No stickers at all. This kit, just out of the box, you can just build it. I mean, obviously we're going to panel line it, but you don't really have to. It's just ready to go. The new parts are all enough, like there were new parts added, and so they just did colors in the plastic, which is, for premium Bandai, really fucking rare. It's very rare to get a no sticker kit. Obviously, the fact that the original version of the Rick Diaz didn't have stickers helps as well, but it is very odd to have a kit where I will be adding no stickers to the build. That is that's a strange one. That is, I would describe that as unusual. I hope you're all doing well out there on the internet. I'm doing good. I got a lot of wrestling to talk about. Tonight, we'll just say, I'll give you an update, WrestleMania update. Austin Theory versus John Cena was the opening contest for Austin Theory's U.S. title. And Austin Theory won. He low-blowed John Cena and then did his finisher and picked up the victory. A-Town down to John Cena. John Cena, it was someone described it as a John Cena match at .5 speed, I would say it was like it wasn't half speed, but it was like 3/4 speed. It was definitely a match of somebody who doesn't do a lot of wrestling anymore. John Cena. It definitely felt like a guy who was, who already had a limited move set by design, doing a John Cena match with somebody who was game. And I think they did mesh well together. It just didn't like blow me away. And I don't think that's a match that does blow you away. I think it going up first makes a lot of sense because it's just like, okay, great, that's done, and now we can move on. I think that is totally reasonable and totally fine. In the second match was a 4-way tag match, which just became a match with like 8 people just in the ring all at once and around the ring. The Street Profits won. That was a very fun match, good showcase. Evangelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Otis had some good moments. Braun Strowman sort of did a frog splash. I don't mean he fucked it up. I mean it wasn't that froggy. He basically did a splash from the top rope, the turnbuckle, which is fucking impressive for Braun Strowman. But like they called it a frog splash, and I was like, that he was not feeling froggy at all there. He did jump, but he was not feeling froggy. So I'll give credit where credit is due. That was impressive. That was a good spot fest. Good little showcase of a bunch of people. Some people got paid, which is nice. Viking Raiders were also there. It is what it is. It was very funny because they're like, ooh, the X factor in this match is going to be Sarah Logan because she's going to tell people, she's on the outside. She's the only, like not valet, but like assistant person that was there. And then she told Ivar to do a moonsault instead of a splash, and he missed. So, good job, Valhalla. Way to go. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, so we'll do this. This is going to go like this. This is going to go like that. These arms are symmetrical, so we can do them basically at the same time, which is very convenient for me. We need D10 and then D9. Work on these arms here. Obviously, once it's all together, we'll panel line it because this gray will definitely appreciate some black marker on it. That'll be good. When I turned off the stream that I was watching with some friends at the point of WrestleMania, it was the good enough wrestler, which is very frustrating because he's a garbage person. Logan Paul was on a zip line coming to the ring of sorts. And I'm like, sure. And he had a mascot for his water or energy drink or whatever the fuck he has. That was there too. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Also, Snoop Dogg is there. Snoop Dogg was there at the beginning because Snoop Dogg will show up. If you want Snoop Dogg to be there, you could pay Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg will be there. Yeah, so Snoop Dogg was there. They had a pre-tape thing with Kevin Hart. Shout-outs to Greg Miller, who was technically part of WrestleMania, because there was a segment that was to advertise the video game. So they had Xavier Woods doing a whole segment about... I just fucked this up, huh? Doing a whole segment about playing the game and like a preview of the Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul match. So they had wrestlers and also Tyler Breeze of up, down, down, around, and Greg Miller was there. So congratulations to Greg Miller for technically being a part of WrestleMania in some fashion. I am sure we'll get a good lowdown on WrestleMania from the man, Jeff Gerstmann, the Gerst Man, who is there. He is at WrestleMania. He is watching the shows. I think he's going both nights. He's there now. Yes, Lashbrook, he's on the roster. He's on the website. He's on the roster page because he is affiliated, because he has a Peacock show about WWE. But Not everybody in WWE ends up at WrestleMania. But yeah, Jeff Gerstmann is there. So I am sure that the podcast, we'll hear some fun tales. He is there with friends. That is the most that he has said out loud. So that is the most that I will repeat because I'm not blowing up Jeff Gerstmann's spot. He did post a photo. You can go to his Twitter page and see that photo if you are so inclined and want to see what he's up to. But yeah, Jeff Gerstmann is there. That rules. Happy for Jeff. Hope he has a great time. Hope he's hanging out with friends that he was really wanting to see and seeing some wrestling. It's very cool. Harold's here. What's up? Jeff is at WrestleMania, but Harold is at the live stream. So appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. So I'm not going to go I'm going to talk about some of the wrestling that I watched this week. Pope is also at WrestleMania. Now, if you're thinking, Eric Pope is at WrestleMania, Jeff Gerstmann is at WrestleMania, are they together? The answer to that question is I don't know. I cannot tell you. Because I don't know. The ramp, yeah, the ring is small at a venue like that. I watched a lot of wrestling the past couple days. I want to talk about some of those events. Directly after Thursday's stream, I immediately started watching DDT Goes Hollywood. DDT is a Japanese wrestling promotion that I am aware of. I know a bunch of what happens there. I don't follow them as closely as I would like these days, but I am aware of them. And there was a bunch of really fun matches. Mao, M-A-O, is a talented wrestler. He's really great. It was really fun to watch him perform. He tagged several times in the past couple days, but at DT I saw him in a tag match, which was really great against Chris Brooks and Yoshihiko. Yoshihiko is a blow-up doll that is also the DDT Iron Man heavy metal champion. The heavy metal championship is basically their hardcore championship, and it is the current champion is a blow-up doll that everyone pretends is a real wrestler. So in working, everybody just behaves and believes that this blow-up doll can move around and can wrestle and is a good wrestler. And it's very interesting to watch people do like a standing Spanish fly it was the doll that did the move. It is an odd feat, but was enjoyable. And then at the end of the match, which Mao and his tag partner Katsumata won, after that, so it was a tag match, but also Mao won the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal Championship, and then Chris Brooks defeated Mao for the title, and then Yoshihiko defeated Chris Brooks to win the title back. So the title changed hands several times in there, and one of four wrestlers, we'll just say that, won that title in a matter of minutes. And it was silly in a way that I can get behind. I thought that was very fun. Other highlights for that night. Pheromones is a problem because it very much... I am not convinced that these are gay gentlemen doing a gay gimmick for comedy purposes. I am not convinced. So I do not know if Yuki Sexy Ino and Densuku Daddy Dineo are queer, but they are doing a queer gimmick. And they won. Oh, sorry, it was a no contest. It was a no contest because it's too much butts. Pheromones had 2 matches this weekend that both ended in no contest because there was too much ass. Which is true. The true fate. Sakiyaki versus Vert Vixen. Sakiyaki is fantastic. Saki is awesome. I'm so glad she's back to wrestling after sustained time off. I'm glad that she's back. Yes, Lord Crashington. Unfortunately, you can have too much ass in a match, and you just have to be like, we're done here. We can't do this anymore. Especially their GCW versus DDT match, where also referees got involved and multiple ref. It was a whole fucking thing. But yeah, Sakiyaki versus Vixen was great. What should have been the main event, in my opinion, although obviously Takeshita is incredible. He fought Yuki Ino. They went to high school together. That's fucking fun. That's great. But to me, the main event should have been Eddie Kingston and Jun Akiyama versus Daisuke Sakurai and Kanon. Because holy shit, that match fucking whipped ass. Eddie Kingston, you've never seen a man so happy to be wrestling. A man who mean mugs like the best of them, who has a lot of heart and a lot of determination and a lot of style, and works the Japanese King's Road style of wrestling. That's his idols. June is one of his idols. Eddie was so fucking thrilled to be in a match with Jun Akiyama. He was so psyched for it. I wish the match was a little longer. I thought it was cool as hell. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad June continues to get his flowers. That crowd fucking... not only did they understand how cool it is to see Jun Akiyama in a wrestling match, they also understood how important that match was and is to Eddie Kingston, a man that they also love. So it's that double thing of like, we love this and we know you love this, and so we love that for you. And it was lovely. Those are the standouts. Endo versus Janela was fine. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Janela guy. I think I appreciate him more than I enjoy him. But that match was fine. That was the DDT Goes Hollywood card. That was good. Yeah, I thought that was neat. I spent $20 to see 2 hours of Joshi, and it was fucking worth it. It absolutely ruled. We had a title change at the main event. Mizuki is a double champion. The current Princess of Princess champion is also the World Princess Tag Champion, and I did not see that coming. I was not expecting that. That is surprising to me. Maki Ito can never keep a belt that long, unfortunately. They were transitional champions. Miyu and Maki lost in the main event. Rika Tatsumi defeated Billy Starks for the International Princess title, which makes sense. I did not necessarily think that Billy was going to win that. She had a good showing. They're not the best. They didn't have like the best chemistry, I should say. I think they're both fantastic wrestlers, but I don't feel like Rika works particularly well with talent outside of the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling system. That's just my opinion. I just don't think she has as much, as many solid matches like that. I think she's a great wrestler. I just don't think that she ever has great matchups with Americans. This is my opinion. Just my thoughts and feelings on the subject. Okay. Putting this arm together. There we go. I had to get it snapped together there. It worked. The best match on the fucking card, to me, because I like nonsense and silliness, was Hyper Misao and Trish Adora defeating Yuki Aino, and Raku. The crowd, first off, the crowd just popped because they were psyched to see Trish Adora. They like Trish Adora. So Trish got some love, which is great because Trish is really fun. But also Trish came out with Hyper Misao, to Hyper Misao's music, and the crowd was just like, immediately you could tell that the crowd understood that that something was happening because Trish Adora was like going along with the ride and was there for fun, and everyone just like immediately understood that, like, oh, Trish is gonna have a good time in this match. Trish Adora is a great wrestler, but she is very serious. She is like a serious professional wrestler. She doesn't have like a lot of character. She mostly just has heart and good skills. And Hyper Misao is a neighborhood superhero. And Trish Adora was like doing hero poses. She was doing Hyper's poses. Hyper Misao presented her with goggles that were like matched her gear and named her Hyper Trish. And Trish Adora played it like it was an honor. Like she was psyched about it. It wasn't like, yeah, whatever. It was like, oh, wow, you want me to be a hero. And they won and saved. And then later, Hyper Misao said, we saved the U.S., which thank you very much, Hyper Misao. We have a lot of problems. I'm very grateful for you. It was a very silly match. It was very fun. I loved how into it Trish Adora was, how she played up it. They did a video after, and it was very clear that like they were both having just a great time, and I love that because that's what one of the things I really like about wrestling is when wrestlers are having a very good time doing wrestling. It was really fun. Also, big shout outs, Living the Dream, Hyper Misao at WrestleCon with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Somebody hooked it up. I don't know who, because I don't fucking know this, but Mighty Molly Holly, in her Mighty Molly gear, there's a photo of her and Hyper Misao, and that's beautiful. And then it got retweeted by Helms. Hurricane Helms retweeted. And that's also fun because he was like, hell, oh, that happened? That's so great. And that was really lovely to see that the U.S. superhero wrestlers appreciate Hyper Misao is lovely. But Mighty Molly and Hyper Misao posing together, meeting for the first time and taking a photo at WrestleCon is the best thing that happened at WrestleCon. There was some bad shit at WrestleCon that fucking sucked ass. Rick Steiner can go to fucking hell. Fuck you, old man. Piece of shit. Fuck off. I have said this before. I will say it again. If you cannot fix the hate that lives in your fucking heart, the very least you can do for society is to shut your fucking mouth. If you cannot fix it, if you cannot grow as a person and become more than you are and better your goddamn self, the very least you can do for other people is to not open your mouth and just be silently seething, you fucking asshole. God damn it. Pisses me the fuck off. I'm not going to repeat the words, but you can go to hell. You can go right to fucking hell. Sorry. Got heated there. Talking about WrestleCon made me think about the incident at WrestleCon and how it sucks ass. I don't know which way this is supposed to go. Let me look at this here. The little dot seems to be on the outside. Okay, so I put in this one backwards. Anyway, sorry. I got heated on that one there, but people should be cool and good. Heated wrestling moment, indeed. But yeah, Tokyo Joshi it's $20 on Fight. It's not part of Fight Plus. You got to spend $20. Eventually, it'll probably be on Wrestle Universe, and when it's on Wrestle Universe, they might have Japanese commentary because the U.S. commentary was fine. It was not good. There was some worry because one of the announcers that was hired via Fight and WrestleCon, not via Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, has been known to be shitty about using people's pronouns, and Max the Impaler is non-binary, but to their credit, bare minimum credit, the announcers did not fuck that shit up, so that's good. But anyway, it was a good. The card itself was very fun. The audience got the wrestlers; they seemed to like them. They Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling did their fucking thing. They had Up Girls sing at the beginning and perform, and the crowd was fucking there for it and totally like got it. And it was that was fun, and I kind of didn't know if they were gonna do that or not. I didn't know if they were gonna do the whole fucking thing, but they did. They did the thing, so that was great. Overall, A plus. And then they took a big group photo, which I liked, and even Max the Impaler got in on the big group photo at the end, which is nice. And then apparently every Joshi performer there signed all of the turnbuckles, or 4 of the turnbuckles, and they sold those at WrestleCon, which I think is very funny. And a friend of mine bought the photo stickers that Hyper Masao was selling and got a photo with Hyper Masao, which rules. She took a photo of her geeking out about having a photo with Hyper Masao, which is lovely. We love that. ROH Super Card of Honor happened. I did not watch all of that live. I watched most of it later. I will say, many of the matches in there were very good, but also, hey, fucking settle down, Ring of Honor. You're not going to steal the weekend. You didn't have to try to steal the weekend. It's very clear that one of the members of Top Flight fucking is out of action again. This is Dante this time instead of Darius, but Dante fucking definitely hurt himself in that ladder match, and it's unnecessary and shitty. It's not one of those things where you're like, well, accidents happen, because that's wrestling. It is wrestling, but also a lot of what they wanted to do in that match was nonsense, and they shouldn't have been doing it. The idea that Mark Briscoe lost the Ring of Honor Television Championship in front of his kids to Samoa Joe is ballsy. That's a ballsy choice to be like, you know who's going to retain? Of all the people to retain, Samoa Joe. We're only going to move the belt off of one person. Sorry, Wheeler Yuta. You have to be the person that loses the belt. No one else will lose a belt. Everyone else will retain. Except for Wheeler Yuta. I don't know what you do now with Claudio beating Eddie. I just don't know. I have to imagine Mark was involved in that decision. Well, Lastbrook, certainly. Maybe Mark does not want to work many Ring of Honor dates. Which also they could work around. It is the TV championship, but also Ring of Honor's not technically on TV. They have a weekly show. So maybe he didn't want to be there all the time. I'm sure he had, they had conversations. I am sure he's okay with losing. It just feels like the idea that they had him reaching for a tag for his dead brother. Like he's so used to tagging that he reached out. Like they did that and then he didn't win. It's like I said, I don't know if that's the right call or a bad call. I don't know how history is going to judge that, but it is an incredibly ballsy call. It is a fucking choice to be like, yeah, man, he went to reach to tag his own brother in. Because one of the storylines was he's never beat Joe alone. And that's like beautiful and fucking deep as shit for wrestling. But also, he didn't win. Jeff Cobb destroyed Tracy Williams, which sucks because make it competitive. Tracy Williams rules. That's hot sauce. That's a former Chikara tag champion right there. His former tag partner is a belt holder in AEW, and he is losing in a barely promoted squash match in 0 Hour. Hot sauce deserves better. Also, the photo they used for him in Ring of Honor of Hot Sauce Tracy Williams makes him look deranged, and that's weird. Willie Mack and Takeshita, that's a fun match. I would have loved that match to go on longer and been on Ring of Honor television, or Ring of Honor, their hour show, Honor Club, or honestly, that's a Takeshita needs to win matches on AEW's television, and not Dark and Dark Elevation. But I was expecting him to win that. I thought that was a fun match. Willow Nightingale on the 0 Hour is a bummer. Put her on the main show. It's Willow. She's great. She's great. So, I don't know. Stu Grayson. Dark Order on there. Dark Order getting a pop. Sure. You know what? Have Dark Order be on Ring of Honor. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Stu Grayson getting a big old pop, taking on Slim J. That is fun. That's good for Slim J. That's exactly where Slim J should be, putting people over on the pre-show of a Ring of Honor event. That is pretty much where you want Slim J to be. That's I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. I guess they're feuding with a weird Christian group now. I don't. Are you talking about Ari Daivari and Mark Sterling? I don't think that's a. Also, Nigel McGuinness was there, and he was just there. It's fine. Vikingo versus Commander. This was not the best Vikingo versus Commander match both of them were involved in of the weekend, but it was good. It was very good. The Righteous, the dudes that came out at the end of the match. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't watch Ring of Honor weekly because to me, the $10 a month is not worth it right now. So I am not getting that. I'm not picking that up on a weekly basis. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah. I did think El Hijo de Vikingo versus Commander was good. It's just they were involved in a lot of other stuff. In my opinion, is better. So people think that Brian Cage's contract is up and that he is leaving AEW / Ring of Honor. And if that's true, then it's a weird choice to have them retain the belt along with the embassy, the rest of the embassy. So I think Brian Cage is staying. Also, I don't think Brian Cage would do well anywhere else. So, except they make him a big deal in Impact, but he probably should stay with AEW. Is my opinion on Mr. Cage. And then the trio of AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Grand Metalik is such a weird trio. It's such a weird trio. Why is that a trio? What's up with that? That's just like three dudes. I don't know. I thought this match was fine. I'm not the biggest fan of Blake Christian. I love AR Fox. I'm not the biggest fan of the Embassy, except for Prince Nana. Obviously, I think Prince Nana rules because he's a very great heel manager. It's just fucking awesome. So I'm always going to pop for the inclusion of Prince Nana because he's wonderful nonsense. All right, let's finish the other shoulder we got to do for this, which is 15. Oh yeah, I got to do it. It's this one here. What else I got? Athena versus Yuka Sakazaki. Yuka Sakazaki. I think they should have given her a little more time. She was in the main event that afternoon of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling Show in LA. Wish she had had a little more time. She was great. There's a new belt. There's a bunch of belts. They got new versions of belts. Athena had the new belt that looked rad. Yeah, Yuka is great. I didn't think Yuka was going to win because I don't think she's staying in the U.S. for that long. I mean, the audience was really into it. Athena is just a great heel. She's just so good at being a heel. Just has complete control of that crowd. Miyu Yamashita is her next opponent on Thursday. It's for the title. That rules. Miyu fucking kicks ass. I don't think Miyu is going to win. I definitely had somebody I know being like, no, Miyu should win. And it's just like, what? She isn't signed to AEW or Ring of Honor. What are you talking? Like, that's my opinion. If you are a pay per appearance wrestler, you should not win a belt because that's where things get messy and weird. That's when people like take off and try to hold things hostage. So you never do that. I talked about Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe. Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia. I don't know why. One, why is this on the card? What's going on here? What's happening with this? And get Brock Lesnar. Indeed, yeah, the Brock Lesnar problem. Look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he was on the card. Why this was on the card? I think Tanahashi rules. I think Daniel Garcia is good. But this felt like a weird, like, I don't know, we can do this match. The tag ladder match was too much, and I'm very sorry for fucking Dante. And I hope it's not a that serious. Shibata won the Pure Championship off Wheeler Yuta. And when that happened, I was like, oh, Eddie's not winning. I already didn't think Eddie was going to win, but I was like, oh, they're definitely, okay. The BCC is the strongest thing in AEW right now. They are untouchable monsters who can do no wrong and who have complete, total control of the locker room. And they are a force in AEW, a newly established heel powerhouse force. They are not going to lose both Ring of Honor belts that they have. Sorry, Eddie. This just telegraphed that you are not winning, which is a shame because I love Eddie Kingston. And if Eddie Kingston has to fucking be off at Ring of Honor and not on my TV every week, then the least they can do is give him a fucking belt. But that doesn't happen. So yeah, Shibata rules. I'm so glad he's back from injury. He still looks great. I am pretty surprised. I'm not super surprised, but like, I was a little surprised that he won. I didn't think they would do it. And now Wheeler Yuta does not have a belt, but maybe they'll have another match. I don't know. But it was. Also, if they want to run back the fact that Best Friends and BCC have heat. I really didn't read that. Both those guys have already lost their belts once before. Yeah, Lashberg, I'm mostly just talking about how, like, BCC is such a newly defined heel stable that seems to be unbeatable in many ways, that having, like, having to lose two belts felt like one belt too many. So that's just my take on it. I could be wrong, but that's just how I felt once I saw this happen. But yeah, one could definitely say that Shibata winning, like, oh, the guy Orange Cassidy defeated Yuta. Sorry, Yuta. You're always losing to the Best Friends. Let's see. Also, Shibata's nickname is The Wrestler, which is so funny. I did want Eddie to win, but of course they want to milk this. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I do love that Shibata came to Eddie's defense. I think that is very cool. Um, but I don't know. I don't think Eddie Kingston's getting another shot at the Ring of Honor title. I think Eddie Kingston just loses in AEW. Eddie Kingston loses um, feuds. Eddie Kingston comes out on the bottom. And maybe that's because they're building him up to come out on top in the future, but I don't actually believe that. In my heart of hearts, Eddie Kingston gets dream matches that he wins, and he loses feuds. Because Eddie Kingston can get away with losing feuds. And Eddie Kingston has better storylines in New Japan strong than he does in AEW / Ring of Honor. And that bums me out. But I'm just not convinced that. I don't think Eddie Kingston wins the Ring of Honor title. I don't think Eddie Kingston even gets a chance at the AEW World title. I think Eddie Kingston will get a short run as a transitional champ for the TNT title or the All Atlantic title at some point. But I'm just down on it. I just think that they have squandered. Lashbrook, but also they don't treat Eddie well, storyline wise. So that's par for the course. His last feud ended with Malachi Black saying, "We don't want you, Eddie. You said you're ready for us, but we don't want you." He got rejected. Spooky Ghosts rejected Eddie Kingston. And then he was supposed to be in a ladder match and decided that instead of being in a ladder match to get a title shot, he quit the company. So yeah, it wasn't a definitive win, but that doesn't mean he's going to get or definitive, loss. It's not that, but also they don't book him like that. That's Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, like when part of the storyline is you don't win the big one and you're a disappointment. Like Claudio Castagnoli said that Eddie Kingston is the biggest disappointment he's ever met. And then he proved it because Eddie Kingston couldn't beat him. And I don't know what else. I don't know. I am now at the point where Eddie Kingston is not an underdog. Eddie Kingston just has bad booking and can't get out of bad booking. And it really bums me out. It is a depressing thing. But I am not convinced Eddie Kingston gets another Ring of Honor title shot. I don't know if they do Eddie versus Claudio again. I don't know what they do with him right now. But yeah, I'm just kind of defeated on it. I think I'm supposed to feel like, oh, Eddie's gonna get it again. Eddie's gonna come back. He's gonna figure out what's wrong. He's gonna like pull out a victory. Like he's gonna get another shot and he's gonna do it next time. I think I'm supposed to feel that way, but instead I just feel like, all right, what bullshit is Eddie Kingston gonna have to make work next? Does he have any friends left to turn on? Like, oh, he showed a sign of respect to AR Fox that one time. Is he gonna like attack AR Fox next week because he's a heel? Like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't feel like they're telling a grand story for Eddie Kingston. I feel like they're squandering an incredibly likable underdog that can go in the ring and saddling him with bullshit that he makes work well enough because he's proven that he can make it work. And it's just, yeah. I'm just pretty defeated by the whole fucking thing. Not feeling great about the chances of Eddie Kingston's getting anything going anywhere at any point. I fucking really want to, but I just don't feel it. It was, I like the match. But yeah. All right, I don't understand what this wants me to do, so that's always fun. I attach this like this. That I know I'm supposed to do. Attach this like this. That sticks out like that. This piece is supposed to slide somehow here. Like this. Maybe? I don't know. Sorry, everybody. I'll figure this out real quick. Getting this arm together here. How does this go? Why can't I get this to work right, folks? What am I doing wrong? I cannot get this hand to do what I need it to do for the life of me. Cannot figure out what I'm doing wrong with this hand. Bad feeling. Sorry, everybody. This is just press hard to attach this part is the only word I'm getting is press hard to attach this part. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But like, is this A10? That's definitely A10. Yeah, okay. I will get this, friends. I don't have to worry. Just kind of looking at it here. If I take this part off. This is supposed to, yeah, okay. So this is supposed to slip like this. That feels right. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to look. But then there's this extra part here. And I don't know how that's supposed to go. Hmm. I want to say it's like that. And then press hard. This is going to be one of those things where when I do it, I'm going to look at it and go like, oh, I was supposed to do that, but I don't get that yet. We're not there yet where I'm like, oh, so that's frustrating. Like that? No, that doesn't seem right. Is it like that? I might have to come back to this. I might have to do this on another day and do the and not do the arms right now, but I don't know. I might have to like watch a video of somebody doing this. Because for whatever reason, I cannot just get this to work. Let me also make sure this is B12. Like that also happens on occasion where I just like had the wrong piece. No, that's B12. Okay. Sometimes that happens, friends, where I'm like, why isn't this working? It's because I've got like slightly the wrong piece. But this is just supposed to slide in like this. If I took this piece off, I could get this to work, and then it would just kind of like live like here, right? Like this is what it's supposed to look like. But then there's this other piece, and I don't know why I'm not getting that right, but I'm not. And so that's weird. Like that. Yeah. All I got is press here to attach part. Please press here to attach part. This is I'm sure this is fascinating, a fascinating stream, and totally worth your time. My apologies, everybody. Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna not do this on. I'm gonna like watch a video. I will finish the hands. I'll get the other parts for it out. But I will complete this whole thing. I guess on Monday stream because right now I am struggling with that and I don't know why. Um, if you have Fight Plus, if you pay for Fight Plus, or you have a 7-day trial that you would like to get, I cannot recommend enough getting it for GCW's the collectives Effie's Big Gay Brunch 6. This was the 6th Big Gay Brunch. It was unbelievably great. It was such a fun event. Um, Fantastic matches. The highlight, I mean, look, some people will say the highlight was Thrussie, which is Alley Catch, Dark Sheik, and Effie defeating Mason's Mercenaries, because there's a wrestler named Charles Mason. Yes, Mr. Bob, we're working on the Richard Diaz, the Rick Diaz. Struggling a bit with the hands here. Can't figure out why. But yeah, some people would say that the main event was the best match on the card. In my opinion, the best match on the card was about halfway through the event. It was Fred Rosser versus Karam. So, Mr. Bob, this is the 2000 Rick Diaz with 2019 parts to make it Quattro's Rick Diaz. No stickers, the premium version of the kit, but it is mostly the year 2000 kit with some new parts because Quattro's is different than the regular Rick Diaz. So it is mostly the same, but it is not fully the same. There's some new stuff because like the vents are a little different and various things like that. So also it is there's no color correcting stickers. It is all just au naturel. Okay, so this is how we're supposed to look. This is how this is supposed to look. Got it here. We're gonna put this on there. But anyway, Fred Rosser versus Karam is the best match on the card. Fred Rosser, you may know as Darren Young in WWE. He has been part of New Japan Strong. He runs their LA branch of their training school, the dojo, the LA dojo. He is a fantastic wrestler and has been just awesome. He gave a very stirring, moving speech at the end of his match, and it was lovely. And the match itself was hard hitting and really solid. Okay, so how does this attach and why does this attach? So this is supposed to attach somehow here, and I thought it did this. I thought this is how it was supposed to go. But when I go to slide this on, it says press here to attach part. I don't know what they mean by that. Because nothing really sticks out that way. That attaches like that. Sure. That's the finger that goes like that. So that makes sense. And then this is supposed to slide kind of like this. But there's a piece, and I don't know where this piece is supposed to fit and sit on there. It's very strange, and I can't figure that out because I should be able to figure that out. All right, so if I do it like that, is this how this works? I'm gonna keep trying, I guess. Eventually, I'll give this up, but I do want it. I do want this to work. And it just says, press here to attach the part. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? And I don't want to break anything. But this feels like I'm going to break something. And that's a bad feeling. You don't want that feeling. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know what these extra parts are supposed to do. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do it close to how it's supposed to be, and we'll just like that'll have to be how it is. These hands don't feel like they're done. I don't know if they're going to be able to grip anything. I don't even know if that's important for this kit, but yeah, definitely like running into an issue with the hands here and not loving that. Other highlights of Effie's Big Gay Brunch 6, fantastic wrestling show. The multi-person match, which was a 5-on-5, which was East Coast versus West Coast, was really solid. Like really talented wrestlers doing incredibly great stuff. West Coast won because this show was in Los Angeles. So, like, which makes a lot of sense. But that was a really solid show. Totally worth checking out. It's a solid match and a good show. And Max the Impaler, they made them continue to be an incredible looking wrestler and completely unstoppable. And I meant to say, when I was saying that I meant to say Vipress. Vipress looked competitive, but just completely overwhelmed and outclassed, which is what you want when you are making a monster like Max the Impaler. You want them to be unstoppable, which they were, which was really nice. We're going to take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. I'm going to talk about wrap up an anime series and then start talking about the new episode the first episode of a new one, because the new season started. There's still going to be a few shows that are wrapping up because they had some delays, but we're going to get back into talking about them. I'm talking about the new stuff. The new stuff has technically begun. We're also working on the right leg here. Again, I hope that those hands are fine, but that part I could not figure out, and it was weird. All right, 12 and 13. But yeah, we got some anime to talk about here. Monday, I'll probably talk about night 2 of WrestleMania and what I missed while I'm doing this of night 1, which is tonight. I may or may not be watching the Hall of Fame, the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. I probably will check that out. I'll probably have that on while I'm doing other things, but I don't know if I'm going to be like deep into it because I have other stuff going on and I've watched a whole lot of wrestling, and then I also have tomorrow night to watch wrestling as well. So there's just a lot of wrestling on the old plate. Do want to say I am still, as of right now, I am still verified. I'm going to double check. But I believe that I am still verified. I am still a legacy verified account and may or may not be notable. He did say starting on the 1st, they're going to move it off. So one would assume eventually that'll just go away. But also Twitter is going to exempt 10,000 most followed companies and organizations from the monthly verified change. That does not obviously affect me. That is to try to keep some people verified who we're not going to give them money, which feels like an exemption that only really hurts people who gave them money. I should also say a lot of people were retweeting because the code got out. The code of the algorithm code got out. And a lot of people were retweeting just nonsense from some guy. Just some guy was like, "Hey, this is what this means. I stayed up late last night looking at all this code. And here's my analysis of replies are the most important thing. This is the most important thing. And this doesn't matter. And you get penalized for links that go outside, but photos and videos do about the same and all this other stuff." And I see just people just retweeting this, just being like, this is, yes, sure. And it's like, hey, the person that's telling you all this pays Elon Musk money for Twitter Blue. Why are you listening to someone that has Twitter Blue? What are we doing here? Why are we listening to this person? They just received this code. And I've also seen a bunch of people being like, that's not what this means. That's not what you're talking about. This is not about the thing you said was retweets is actually replies, because we all know the algorithm actually doesn't benefit that. This is to make people who reply to Elon Musk feel better about themselves. It's mostly what a lot of the newer code is. Just sad as hell. Um, what if Elon Musk just made that announcement to scare more people into Twitter Blue? I mean, that's also a possibility that it was an attempt to push people that have verifieds like myself into getting Twitter Blue, because there's no real benefit to me. Twitter Blue does not benefit me in any way, but being verified is a thing that I don't hate about me. So I don't know. April Fools, indeed. God, I hate April Fools. Look, the Batista doing stand-up video is funny. Don't get me wrong. The Batista doing stand-up video is enjoyable. The premise that that Batista would have a Netflix special where he's never done stand-up before and didn't practice doing stand-up before it, and just comes up and bombs, and then when he gets heckled, he attacks the person that heckled him. That is very funny. Don't get me wrong. It's very entertaining. I think that's the only good one. Fake Twitter Blue stuff, not funny to me. There is a site that I read manga on that they did Orange, and basically you had to agree to their dumb joke because they just kept doing. Basically, they're like, we're gonna put ads on there. They're not putting ads up there. It's fine. But what they did have was it made sense to quote unquote sign up, which doesn't cost any money. Don't worry about it. But sign up. You had to go along with the bit, or you would just have a bad experience because they kept doing pop-ups about their bit because they really wanted someone to go with this nonsense bit that they had. So the incentive was, you have to make this go away. Your best option is to just go along with their terrible idea. You know, Blizzard has such low faith in themselves and their audience that they teased their yearly April Fool's bit. They're like, "Oh, we got a big announcement coming tomorrow," and it's like, "Oh, well, what's tomorrow?" Oh, okay. Let's see, other things that I did not like. Oh, another site switched they switched the text they use to Comic Sans. And it's a site that I'm like, oh, okay. But then I'm like, wait, I'm on this site like 4 or 5 times a day for various things. This sucks. And you know what? It does. It really does. It sucks ass that I have to look at that. By now it should be done, though, because they are several hours ahead. And there are a few things. There were a few goofy jokes that aren't great. And, was frustrated to see that hopefully will get corrected. People being nonsensical. I know that I am a wet blanket about these things. The fact that I do not like Liar's Day, because that's what it is, because most pranks are not pranks. I will say it again. I've said this before, and I will once again repeat it. The only good April Fool's joke that has ever existed was Bieber or Die, when Justin Bieber, quote unquote, bought Funny or Die and replaced all the videos on the front page of funnyorDie.com with videos that he was in, including ones he had done with them before, and then also him doing parodies of some of the famous Funny or Die videos, like the landlord, the little girl that's yelling and swearing. He does that. He does like at the dentist video. He does a bunch of like at that time popular and well-known internet videos, and that's a fun idea. Bieber or Die was a fun idea. Also, I will say that I did enjoy those when you ThinkGeek, where they would advertise fake products as being real, and then they made some of those or ordered some of those fake products and made those fake products real. I think that is a fun idea. I was always in favor of that nonsense. Local brewery did a build your own beer joke with raw ingredients in a pint glass, but he also offered brewing classes, so it's not the worst. Yeah, it's not bad. That said, I am considering buying that Night Trap GBA cart. Don't. I mean, or do whatever. Um, but for the most part, they're just lies. Uh, they're just like, actually, I'm doing this now. Like, hey, we pivoted to this, and it's just like, you didn't though. Fuck off. YouTube is the worst because people don't delete the videos they put up because it's content. So instead, you just have like it's like, hey, congratulations, now forever, you're gonna have people replying going, you didn't do this, or this seems fake, because they'll watch it after April 1st. Uh, so congratulations on your engagement of people being mad at you for the forever. I look forward to Sonic is Dead though. I mean, that's a one. Also, hey, what they fuck off for putting it out on a Friday. Fuck off, Sega. You put it out on a Friday because you feel like more people look on the internet on a Friday than they do on a Saturday, and you don't have the conviction to put it out on April Fools. So, come on, cowards. Put it out on Friday. What are you doing? It's nonsense. Rocket League turned their quick chat messages into a bunch of random phrases, mostly lyrics from, oh, cool. They used the 4chan meme from 20 years ago. That's awful. The fact they put the song up that you can use your anthem is good, but the fact that Rocket League is doing Rick Astley jokes in 2023 is sad. That makes me think that no one cool works there. Everyone cool that made that game has left that game, I guess. Harold says the one joke that pissed me off was one of the Bare Naked FB groups, the Facebook groups you follow on Facebook, had a pic of 1 week remixed with Kanye West. Yeah, that's not. That's a oofa doofa there. But yeah. I think Liar's Day is bad and the internet is already full of misinformation. Because there was somebody went to the trouble of getting a fluent Japanese speaker to translate their joke into Japanese to make it seem more legit. And every year there are people out there that announce through nefarious nonsense means I should say, announce that they're doing more G Gundam or model. They announce like model kits that aren't coming out, and they're always great kits. And I fell for it one year, and I was so fucking pissed off that I fell for it. But it's just like, hey, yes, we as a community want those kits that you're talking about. At least some of us do. But that's a lie, and fuck off for lying. It's not funny or fun to be like, yeah, there's going to be the or the Devil Gundam. They're going to put out a Devil Gundam Master Grade, and it's like, no, they're not. You're just lying. My phone autocorrects oof with a lot of O's now. Yep, that is good. You're right. That is a silver lining, Mr. Bob. All right, I'm way behind on the pause for the cause, so let's do that. We'll keep this brief. Hey, guess what? It's April 1st. That's an excellent, it is, don't be a fool. Instead, find ways to support me financially so I can keep doing this stuff. But if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue Emote. If you're a Arista fan and you're a Tier 2 subscriber, please throw those in chat. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, link with your Twitch. Again, we don't have a lot of folks here tonight, mostly people who are already subscribers, so that's totally cool. So I'll try to break through this real fast. But subscribing is an easy way to support what I do here. See if that's something you'd like to do. My Patreon, I just posted the schedule up on Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. That is an alternative to helping me out through Twitch. If you would like to help me out financially on a monthly basis, jump over there. My patreon.com/PatBear, a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. I have a YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel, jump in on that. Subscribe if you haven't already. That would be great for me. Your friend Pat would love that. Harold just gave 25 bits. Thank you so much for those bits. Gonna hit that right now. Cha-ching. Thank you very much, Harold, for that. Appreciate you. Thank you for those bits. It is a new month. If you want to gift a sub and be the top of the gift sub leaderboard, you could gift a sub to somebody in the community, and if you don't do anonymously, you take credit for it, you join the gift sub leaderboard. And also, Harold is now at the top of the bit leaderboard for cheering those 25. Appreciate that very much. Let's see. Everything I make through direct donations, which I'm going to plug in there, and YouTube and Patreon and Twitch all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that. I was able to pre-order this Rick Diaz, this Quattro's Rick Diaz, because of your generosity. Your lovely support made it possible for me to pick up that kit, which is rad. Now, I have other kits in my wish list, on my backlog that I would love to build, and I'll get into building those. But if you want to jump that queue, if you decided you know what I'm building next because you're going to buy it for me to build next, you can buy something off my Amazon wish list. It'll jump the queue, become the next thing that I build, because that's the least I can do, and I'll make a dedicated YouTube video called Mailbag Video thanking you for that. I've got Lego sets. I put up some new inexpensive Lego. It is nice to have a Lego set that's basically $11. That is a 3-in-1, and it's a couple animals, and that looks cute. It's nice to have some options, so I put in some inexpensive Lego there. And the 3-in-1s are great because it takes a little while for me to build because I'm building 3 kits out of it. So yeah, I got some Lego sets. I got some model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. There's a Pokemon kit on the list. There are kits with free shipping. There are kits that don't have the free shipping that jump around in price, and then I have to constantly keep moving around. There's a real grade in there. One of the few real grades I don't own. The Freedom Gundam real grade is on my wish list. And again, you buy that, it comes to me in the mail. It becomes the next thing that I build because that's the least I could do is build the thing that you paid for me to be able to build. And there's also some there's some tools at the bottom and some gear because it's nice having gear. Oh, a much better chair than the one I have. The dream. Bunch of stuff. Let me check this out. There's a 3-in-1 that's suggested to me. Hey, there's a magical unicorn 3-in-1. One of them is a unicorn, and then the other ones are a seahorse and a duck. That's out of stock. Never mind. I'm not going to put that on my wish list. I added it to my wish list, but right now it is unavailable. Hopefully someday it'll be available because that shit's cute as hell. So anyway, don't buy that because you can't yet. But alternative to that, I have a Throne wish list. You can buy stuff from there if you want to do some shopping. Not through Amazon. You could do that. And then USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card you get in your email with a code. Send me the code. Whisper here on Twitch, a DM on Twitter. Those are the ways to support me through me being able to purchase kits instead of a monthly subscription or whatever. And if in the past you've bought me something to build on stream and you've been thinking like, oh yeah, I'll do that again. Now will be a great time to do that. My backlog is a little low. I do have a couple kits coming in the mail. I have a couple premium pre-orders. One that's this month and then 2 in July. But like, my backlog's a little light. I do have some kits that I purchased that I have to wait on because I purchased them specifically for the charity event at the end of this month. I'm going to have 2 kits, and I'll be building those. So that's what's going to happen here. I can just tell you right now while I plug my Discord. For Plastic Model Weekender, my plan is the couple streams before it, I'm going to build the kits that I will be customizing on that stream. So instead of building a kit during my 2 hours, like I've done in the past, I will be customizing some kits. I won't say how I'm going to be customizing them yet. I will talk about it there. But I want to build the kits that I'm going to customize on stream, and I think I'm going to need 2 kits to do that on there. So I'm going to build those leading up. So I have 2 kits that are for that event that I have not I haven't built them. I figured like I would build them ahead of time instead of building them on my own time. I might have to finish the second kit in there because I got to give it, 2 streams each for those. But that's the plan anyway, is to build those kits and then present them on stream and then customize them in front of a crowd. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's, and we'll get back to building because it's we're overdue for that. Pat Bear's Anime Club, an ongoing video series where I talk about anime. This is my wrap up of the winter season, which is just finishing up now, and the preview of the spring season of the first episode that just came out. And then Baerly Rehearsed is a series where I do some, every week I do a new character piece. And I write it and rehearse it for myself. It is Baerly Rehearsed, and do my best to do some fun comedy stuff. This recent episode is the first of 4. There will be 4 throughout the year. Clean slate episodes where I just erase all the ideas I know I'm not going to use. I just listed all of them. It is a list sketch where I am just telling you about the character ideas or the one-liners that are in my head, or the premises that I was like, this is very funny. I'm not going to do this, but I want to, share it. So I did that. We're going to talk about some anime here in a second. So let's get into that. But before we get into the anime, I have to drink some water. I am in desperate need of liquid to drink. So I'm going to drink some water. And while I do that, I am going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera right now. All right, let's keep working on this leg while we talk about 2 anime shows that I've been watching. The final episode of Chillin in My 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. Because I am 99% sure that was the last episode. I am now second guessing myself, so I'm going to go to Wikipedia. And we'll look for Chillin in My 30s. Japanese light novel series, the anime. Series was produced by that. It aired. Okay, yeah, so it's done. All right, great. Whew. I thought for a second there might be a 13th episode, but no, there's 12th episode. Anyway, this show was very fun. It is a light watch. It is an easy watch. It is funny in parts. It is there's some sadness to it. This is the fighting has been happening in this episode. The half brother, or actually adopted brother, of our main character has been hexed. So he can control a dragon, Salamandra, and that's not going well. There's a whole thing where Daryl sees his brother's visions and then shares visions of himself, and it's just like, damn, dude, vice versa. Like, you had an inferiority complex. So did your brother this whole time because he didn't have any magic. And he just wanted to be a good brother to you. And especially the fact that that when he thought he was taking over for his dad, and he was like, well, my dad will definitely be an assistant. He won't just leave. No, instead he made Daryl the assistant. And he's like, what's happening here? I don't even get to work with you. Like, it's one of those things you're like, I totally understand where you're coming from, dude, but also you're the villain, and it sucks. And then Daryl feels bad, which obviously his brother doesn't want. He doesn't want Daryl to pity him. He wants Daryl to lose to him, to like, feel inferior like he does. So that's just like the worst thing you can do. But then, like, Daryl's like, hey, I was fucking lonely. I just found a place to belong. Like, I was always lonely with demons. I didn't know I was a human living with demons, but I always felt out of place. And I wish that I could have been your big brother that you looked up to. I wish we could have had that relationship. And it's lovely. Um, and the hex gets broken, but then Salamandra is fucking pissed because this is like a legendary beast that was like forcibly taken over and is not happy. And then Bashes is like, well, instead of making things better through my own hard work, uh, this is the way to atone is to sacrifice myself. But that ends up not working out because Granverza and Daryl work together to stop that. Um, and it kind of all works out. But now the demon lord, the actual guy in charge, banishes him from the demon realm. Uh, and Bashaversa gets to go meet his nephew. Um, and calls him Big Brother. Not Uncle, which is what he should be, but Big Brother. So Gran, the little kid, speaks his first words, and then there's a family portrait of like the demons and the heroes and his immediate family and like his father-in-law who always feels like just so out of place. Um, and then Bashverse is like, I'm gonna go study humans. I'm gonna go travel the human world and learn because we never really learned what was going on. So I promise that I'll learn some stuff and then I'll be visiting. Don't worry about it. We'll see more of him. And that's where the anime ends. Again, very easy watch. There's some action that I think is great. Daryl is a fun character. The dynamic of him and his future wife, current wife, Marika is fun. And that is a fun interaction. The fact that she is not so secretly way stronger than any human should be and could be the hero, but that is not her disposition. That is a fun dynamic, and she is a fun character. And yeah, overall, it's a good time. It's a enjoyable series, and I enjoyed it. I think it was a fun one. I would say if you missed it last season, I don't know if you have to watch it. I would say maybe check out the manga, which obviously goes farther and is very fun. I think the manga is totally worth your time because it's a good series. Now I will talk to you about Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999, which is a new romantic comedy series that debuted as the first show of the new season that I will be checking out. And it's cute as hell. My love story is fucking cute. Our main character, her name is Akane. Akane is, in the very first moment of the very first episode, is being dumped. Her boyfriend, who we'll now refer to as her ex-boyfriend, he has met a new person. He is clearly already dating this girl and was like kind of falling by the wayside for Akane. He was already kind of like moving on because he's ready to go with this breakup. Apparently, we learned that he had convinced her to start playing a video game, an online RPG, like an MMORPG, named Forest of Savior. And mostly she did it because that way they could spend time together gaming and doing something. But she also kind of got into it. So even though he has unfriended her in the game and taken some big items that not giving back some big items that she had paid for and all that, she finds herself after talking to her friend Momo, the friend that she has. She's like, well, I'm going to take out my aggression by killing a bunch of low-level mobs in this area, and I'm just going to spam attacks, and that's going to be like how I relieve some stress because I'm angry that my boyfriend broke up with me. She's feeling her feelings. She runs into a guildmate named Yamada, who she tries to confide in and talk and kind of like vent, and he is very unresponsive. He's very slow to respond, and there are a lot of one-word answers, and like he's just not giving her the common courtesy that she was hoping for. Like they don't know each other, but at the very least, like you could be like, "Oh, that sucks," or like, "Well, forget him." What like that guy doesn't know what he's missing or whatever. But he's not about pleasantries. He just doesn't really respond. So she's just kind of cursing his name. And then she gets in her head, our girl, she's going through a breakup. She's very unhappy with how things worked out. This guy already has somebody new, and she's like, she has this plan. There's going to be a live in-person event for this game, like a meetup thing, like, for the company. She'll go to that. And she's going to get, like, dolled up, get a new outfit, get some makeup applied. Like, she's going to really, like, wow. And like, her ex-boyfriend's going to see, because, of course, he'll be there. And she's going to see he's going to see how great Akane is doing. And it's going to make him jealous and make him regret what happened. And she's like, and that doesn't, because he's there with his new girlfriend and clearly happy and, like, just more surprised that that Akane would be there. Not like, oh, like, he doesn't even think like, oh, she looks so good right now. Like, that doesn't work. And our girl feels real bad about that. So she lies, because you know what he does feel weird about? Yamada is there. The real Yamada, who is apparently fucking hot. He is hot as hell. He is an attractive looking dude, and he is the guildmate. He is also apparently a pro gamer. We find out later our main character in this story is a pro gamer who just plays Forest of Savior for fun, just like on occasion, which is why he's probably slow to respond to messages. It's not like it's like a second monitor thing for him. And the idea that he is the fake idea that he is dating Akane actually does affect our guy, but not because he's jealous or like misses Akane, but the ex-boyfriend is just like, but I want to hang out with Yamada. It's not about her at all. We find out he doesn't really care about relationships or anything. He's never had a girlfriend. Yamada is very curt and seems to... Look, am I going to diagnose Yamada as being on the spectrum? I don't think I'm going to do that. I've known this character for 20-something minutes. But it is very clear he could be asexual. That's also a possibility. It is very clear that he only cares about doing well in video games and does not care at all about relationships or has never been interested in anybody. Which is a problem because he's handsome as hell. And also Akane is mad because he is not being supportive in this instance. But he is supportive his own way. Like, she fell earlier and she was bleeding. And he went out and she thought that he had, like, ditched her when she went to the bathroom. But instead, he went to go get a Band-Aid. And she was a little drunk and very psyched about this. And then we cut to the next day, and she is waking up bleary-eyed, hungover, in his apartment. And that's where the episode ends. The episode ends with her being like, wait, what the fuck? What's happening right now? Because she wakes up to the sounds of him gaming. And that's where the episode ends. And yeah, I'm gonna give this another shot. Definitely going to watch more of my love story with Yamada-kun at level 999, because this first episode got me. Like, I want to know. I don't think anything untoward happened, but I want to know, like, what she thinks happened and what he is saying. And, like, I'm interested. I'm interested in the idea that, like, she definitely falls for this dude. What do you do when there's the guy you like is not interested in, not you, but in anything like that? Like, the concept is being rejected, not that he's rejecting you as a person. That's interesting to me. I would like to see more of that. So that's the first show of this season that I'm going to be watching here. There's more anime that I will be checking out. On Monday, I'll talk about, I think, the second to last episode of Bunny Daddies. I'll give a review of that. And then I will be starting The Aristocrats' Otherworldly Adventure Serving Gods Who Go Too Far, because that looks rad as hell. I enjoy that manga. That is a very easy isekai to follow along with. So I will be giving my thoughts on that. And then also My Clueless First Friend, another friendship story, slice of life, about a girl, like a dreary girl that everyone kind of just makes fun of, whose life changes when a weird boy shows up the town and comes to school, and he has no preconceived notions of her, and is just like, I don't know, I think we're friends. You seem cool, and how her life changes because that has like a snowball effect, and that seems to be a very fun little series that I have heard good things about. So I will be checking that out in the future because it seems neat. I will not be doing my weekly thoughts on Kuma 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 Bear Punch, which is season 2, and also the second season of In Another World with my smartphone. I kind of feel like I shouldn't be giving like weekly reads of a second season of a show. The first season makes more sense to do. I should point out, I keep saying should. I will point out that Kaguya-sama Love is War, the movie, Crunchyroll is putting it up episodically for some reason. I'm going to look this up here on Crunchyroll. And they only put up half of it. But, so it's not just a full movie. It's going to be like 4 episodes. But on the plus side, what they put up has a theme song that wasn't in the movie that is apparently very good. So I am waiting for, Kaguya 2.5 is what they're calling it. Or it says season 25, but I guess it, whatever. Kaguya Love is War, the first kiss that never ends. They're putting it up as episodes. So the first hour of it is up, and then there'll be another one. So I am waiting for there to be more of that. Because I don't want to watch 2 episodes. I want to watch it like all together as one long movie. Because I don't go to movie theaters. The other half drafts tomorrow. Thank you, Lashbrook. I knew that was coming. So I don't know if I'm going to talk about that on Monday because I have a lot of wrestling to watch this weekend. But maybe Thursday I will talk. Maybe like I think probably Thursday I will have watched all of that, because right now for Thursday I only have one show that I'm going to be watching, Skip and Loafer, which is another probably romantic comedy style show about an overachiever who moved to the big city and finds out maybe she isn't an overachiever, and also finds out that maybe being a little bit more of a loaf is the way to go. So that's that. I'm going to be checking out. Oh, I should check. Actually, you know what? I should go to Annie Chart. I didn't look to see what's coming up on Wednesdays here. So I'm going to look at Annie Chart and see. All right. Let's see. What is Orphan, Konosuba? Yeah. Okay. Oh, so Thursday. So, because that's a Tuesday show. Okay, so Thursdays I get Dr. Stone New World. Again, I'm probably not going to cover that because it's a later season. But we do also get Yuri is My Job. And at the very least, I want to watch the first episode of Yuri is My Job because that seems like nonsense. And I got a cheat skill in Another World and became, I forget what the full title of that. I got a cheat skill in Another World and became unrivaled in the real world too. That, I love that manga. It is a slow to come out manga. I think it's based on a light novel, obviously, so the anime will go past that, so I'm looking forward to that. I also will probably watch, not weekly, but I will eventually get caught up in The Ancient Magus Bride because I do like that. I didn't like it at first, and I gave it a second watch a while back and did seem to like it. I will not be watching The Legendary Hero is Dead because that just seems not for me. I don't think I want to watch Opus Color. So, okay, so my Thursday will be talking about Yuri is My Job, episode 1. I Got Cheats Go in Another World, episode 1. And Skip and Loafer. And I don't know if I'm going to keep watching any of those, but at the very least I know those will be 3 that I will be talking about on stream. And it's good to have stuff that I want to talk about. Makes me happy when I have things to chat with you all about. You know? All right, let me ask you, friends, what have you been watching? What have you been playing? If there's anything video game wise, I have played Hearthstone. That is the game that I played today and yesterday, and I have played no other games. Didn't touch WWE 2K23. Haven't done that in a few days to download new characters. I will. I always keep track of that because I don't know the next time I'm going to be doing it. So I always do try to keep track of all those. But yeah, like I said, I don't know the next time that I'm going to be uh, taking a look at any of that. Um, So I haven't played any video games, but I want to hear from you. I've been playing Hearthstone. Hearthstone is what I've been playing. I haven't played Marvel Snap in about a month. I don't think I'm going to go back to Marvel Snap. I just don't necessarily see myself doing that. I think it's a fun game to play, but it's a game that feels like I would have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, or lots and lots and lots of money to get the decks that I want to play. And I don't particularly want to do that, so not going to do it. And yeah, you already know about all the fucking. I did watch the last episode of The Exorcist anime, the isekai that I did not that I started watching here and gave up on and didn't talk about on stream because I thought it was bad. Out of morbid curiosity, I went and watched that, and I think it wraps up kind of interesting. I think the 12th episode is better than the actual 13th episode. I really don't think they're going to do more of that because it really, really, really felt like that was them wrapping up the series, even though the manga, I imagine, goes farther. It's now past where I am in the manga because I have been reading it because I think it's an easier story to read because he doesn't feel as much of an asshole when you're reading it as when you're watching it and having a character talk to you and just hearing how nonsense that character is. I think it's easy. It's an easier read than it is a watch. But yeah, it wraps up. I think it wraps up a little too easy, and over the closing credits, you get closing music. You get oh, okay, so that's where they're going with this, huh? Oh, okay, they're gonna do this thing. All right, it's perfectly okay. I just didn't think it was that great. Lord Crashton says, still watching more Naruto Shippuden as I navigate the filler throughout the war stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of filler. I will say this. There is one bit of filler that comes way later than you are. I don't think you're anywhere near it. But there are some, I would describe them as dream sequences. There's a lot of dream sequences, and that is all filler. None of that is in the manga. And some of it is really good. Some of that is really fun, but it's so fucking long and bad. In some parts, it's infuriating. So get ready for that. You're a ways away, I'm sure, of that, Lord Crashton, but oof, that filler is tough because it was oh, we got some big fights coming up. Instead, let's do this for a while. It was rough. But yeah, some of that filler is bad. That's the word I was looking for. Some of it is bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go watch the rest of WrestleMania that's out tonight, whatever is left of the card. I think it'll probably be the main event. I'll probably be coming into the main event. And then tomorrow I'm going to watch probably the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, which is at 3 o'clock. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be watching. Excalibur's going into the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, which is really nice. And he deserves it because he's a great wrestling promoter and former wrestler and ring announcer, commentator. He does great work. So I'm sure, put Excalibur in the Hall of Fame. Matt Cardona is going in the Hall of Fame, which is very funny. I hopefully he will speak out of character and not do it in character, but maybe he will. And then, of course, night 2 of WrestleMania. I'll be checking that out. Lord Carson says, I'm using a guide someone posted on Reddit that is mostly, it's pretty good, so watch if you want, and list the episodes that have main story stuff in it. Yeah, those guides can be pretty good. I would say, they're hey, this thing, it is important to say, I've talked about this before. I've said this here before. There is such thing as good filler. Naruto does have some good filler arcs. Like, sometimes it's awful, and, like, you know, the episode in Dragon Ball, or Z, where Goku and Piccolo take a driving test. That shit is filler, and it's fucking fun and a good time. That's some good, stupid nonsense that I'm totally on board for. There's an arc in Black Clover that I will talk about to anyone that listens that features tragic queer villains. And the only queer characters ever presented in Black Clover are those two non-canonical, because it's anime only, queer villains. And it fucking sucks. It's a shit storyline. Where they, instead of choosing any form of redemption, they choose death together. And it's like, fuck off, anime. So that is an example of bad filler that helps no one. And it's just awful. And I always tell people to skip because there's nothing about it that's good. And then also never comes up again, and no character learns anything about it or remembers it ever happened. It is literally just terrible. Is a terrible story filler. Oh, awful. But two. God, I hate that filler. But yeah, sometimes filler is good. I want to say. There's a Sakura forward filler in Naruto. I can't remember where in Naruto it is, but there's a whole arc that, while it doesn't necessarily like strengthen her character overall because it is filler, it is, if you like Sakura doing cool shit, it is about her doing cool shit, and that does fucking kick ass. So there's that. All right. I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm going to snap this part in. I am mostly done with this leg. I will finish this leg on Monday. And then I will also put the foot on. Do the other foot. And then we will move on to the waist so we can body complete this kit. And then we will do the weapons on the back and then the weapons it holds. Because this kit has some weapons. Various weapons. It's got a bunch of weapons. Got to put on the various weapons this kit has and have it hold all that. So we got to do that. And I don't think we're going to wrap this up on Monday, but we'll get very close to wrapping it up. So, Lashberg is catching up on next later Watchcast stuff. So you watch Tomorrow Never Dies, which is totally fine. I fully agree with you, Lashbrook. Tomorrow Never Dies is a fine movie. That is a perfectly okay movie watching experience. So you're right on that one. I agree with you. Okay, so we got legs here. We got some legs. I'm gonna do this trick again to make it so you can see the overhead there. But that's our build. This is what we worked on today. We finished. We built all the arms here, and we built one leg and most of the other leg. So we will definitely. I should probably do a poll on Sunday. I'll probably put a poll up tomorrow for my $10 patrons to decide what I'm going to build after this, because I think we might wrap this kit up on Monday. It might take the whole stream, but we don't have a lot left to do, so I should know what I'm going to be starting anyway. I forget the name of the one with the diamond face, but definitely the worst bronze thing. Oh, yeah. Yes, they're some of those aren't great. You're right. Okay, so also we're gonna raid. That is how we end every stream here. We go on a raid. We're gonna find somebody doing cool shit out there that we want to go hang out with, and we're gonna go hang out with them on a Saturday night. I don't know who's streaming right now. I don't know who we're gonna go hang out with, but it'll be somebody and it'll be fun. So let's find that. Let's find that person that we're gonna go spend a little time with, and spend a little time with them. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Beach is still streaming, but he started streaming like almost 3 hours ago, so he's probably close to being done. Beach Dairy was doing his anime roundup, similar to what I do. There, it's exactly the same. Only we watch some different. There's an overlap, but we watch some different anime, and he watches. Sometimes he watches more movies than me. All right, we might be. Let's see. Let's see. Who are we gonna go raid? I'm gonna see. I like to look at how long they've been streaming. And if it's over 2 hours, I don't want to raid them anymore. Because even if they are long-term raiders, like, sometimes it's just like, that's too much. No, no. We're going to, yeah, we're going to raid Arthur Geese. We haven't raided Arthur in a while. Arthur is playing Dredge, which is apparently a spooky fishing game. And that sounds weird in a way that I'm into. So we're going to go raid. Feel free to come along on this. Hang out with Arthur as he plays a game that I've never heard of, but does seem neat. So feel free to come along this raid. I hope you had a good time here on a Saturday night. I apologize. I was a little out of it. Seemed to be a little low energy. My apologies there. Had some issues here with the hands, but we figured it out. And it's going to be a good stream. So I hope you'll hang out with me as we go on this raid. I will see you on the next one. Come back on Monday as I probably finish this kit. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.